So we have some breaking news we want to let you know about. There's a power outage according to the Warren County Fire and Rescue Facebook page.
Take a look behind me, a tractor trailer full of 22 tons of logs.
Speaking of all that rain, let's turn to your local weather authority meteorologist Drew Tuma, who is tracking this major storm having impacts across the country.
The end of summer, it's the beginning of fall. You gotta relax while you can.
I've been tweeting and Facebooking all about it. I want to taste it. I've got 2 words for you. Flash mob. It was a great scene at Jim Barnett Park tonight. I know I did most of my Christmas shopping already on this little device. South of the city of Winchester, not too much to talk about. That's why we're kind of keeping our eye on this storm and watching it as it continues to track to the north. We're going to make sure that you take one of these along. We're talking about an umbrella. And speaking of traveling outside, let's get a first look at that weather forecast. Drew, man, today was even better than yesterday. A traffic nightmare on Interstate 81 northbound. It's happening just north of Middletown near mile marker 303. Take a look at this map.
Say hello to my little friend. Its name is Ragweed.
This is a copy of the summons. It has more than 50 names. Wow, it was like a fun day.
It certainly was a good day.
No, glad no one got hurt, but does that ever happen?
Yeah, it does occasionally.
Where local news comes first. This is TV3 Winchester News at 7.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us for your news at 7. I'm Channing.frampton. Here's what's happening in that top 3 on 3 tonight. Number 1, new details on a crash that ejected 2 people Friday night on Remount Road in Warren County. State police say the driver, 21-year-old Jacqueline Meza Martinez, and passenger 27-year-old Roger Figueroa were not wearing seat belts at the time. Police confirm their month-and-a-half infant was not secured in the car seat properly. The passenger and the baby were ejected from the vehicle and taken to Inova Hospital for treatment. The baby has since been treated and released. The driver, who was not ejected from the car, was taken to Winchester Medical Center and charged with reckless driving and failure to secure a child and child restraints. The cause of that crash still under investigation. Number 2, a family of 5 is getting help from the Red Cross tonight following a fire in their home early this morning. It happened here on North Frederick Pike near Gainsboro around 6 a.m. The Red Cross says a wood stove fire damaged the house so badly that the family has nowhere else to stay. That's why the Red Cross is helping them with food, clothing, and shelter this evening as they work to recover. And number 3, we're also learning more about an accident that took the life of an 18-year-old in Berkeley County overnight. It happened here on Shepherdstown Road just east of Martinsburg just before midnight last night. State police say 18-year-old Greg Allen Brake of Jefferson, Maryland was killed when the car he was driving flipped and caught on fire. If anyone has any information regarding that accident, please contact the West Virginia State Police. Now to new details. 2 men and 2 women are dead following a train derailment in New York City yesterday. We just learned that that train was going 82 miles per hour as it approached a 30-mile-per-hour zone. Investigators are looking into the speed of the train as a possible factor in that crash that sent these cars off the tracks. Crews are bringing cranes in to right the overturned cars on the slight chance anyone might still be underneath. Amtrak, whose trains run along the same rail line, has restored service between New York City and Albany, New York, but it says that delays can still be expected. Of course, rail service is big business nationwide, including right here in the Shenandoah Valley. And our sister station, WHSV's Garrett Weimer, joins us from Augusta County, where he talked to a local business owner about why crashes like this one have long-lasting consequences.
A high-profile and fatal train crash in New York. Now a look at how safe it is to travel by train. The NTSB continues to investigate why a commuter train in New York derailed, killing 4 and injuring 60 others. According to Federal Railroad Administration statistics, there have been nearly 1,300 train accidents through September of this year, but only 3 have been fatal. Local travel experts say train crashes get a lot of attention, but it's still a safe way to travel. One telling me she has clients asking to take trains on certain trips.
You could get hit by a car walking across the street, and I think it's the averages for any kind of accident on trains is very low, and so people really aren't very concerned about that.
I also reached out to Amtrak to get their take, but I haven't yet heard back. From the Augusta County Newsroom, Garrett Weimer, WHSV.
Heading out for some holiday festivities. It looks like a pretty good night for it, right, Drew?
Yeah, Channing, nice and comfy out there. The only caveat, we don't have clear skies, so you're going to deal with a little bit of cloud cover out there. Sky Tracker 3 along with satellite will show you that cloud cover overhead is thick, so we're going to be not seeing those bright stars tonight, but it will be a rather comfortable night in terms of temperatures. Right now we're sitting at 41 degrees, which is mild for this time of the year at Winchester Regional Airport, and no threat of a wind chill because the winds will remain calm overnight tonight. If you're headed down to Winchester for the Old Town Christmas Parade that just kicked off at 7 o'clock, temperatures staying pretty steady, pretty comfortable in the low 40s under those overcast skies. Now on the 7-day forecast, we do have a day that's spent in the 60s. I'll let you know which day it is when I see you guys in just a few minutes. Channing?
All right, thanks, Drew. And today marks the first official week of December, and that means colder temperatures and winter road preparations. Road salt is a big part of that prep. It keeps our roads safe by lowering the freezing point of water, making it more difficult for ice to form. While the salt keeps us safe, it is a cause for concern with cars. If not washed off properly, the salt can form rust.
We're starting to see more corrosion build up now that the state has went to the liquid salt that they use on the roads like they do up north. So you're starting to see a little more, rust start building up on the vehicles.
And being from PA, I can tell you that is a mess. Now, professionals say the best way to avoid that buildup is to wash your car after a snowstorm, and it could save you a few $100 in repairs. Turning to Warren County, there have been a number of coyote sightings, and folks continue to hunt them in order to keep the population down. There have been 70 complaints so far this year, and folks say they expect the county to pay even more coyote bounties before the year's up. The bounty is in place because coyotes are considered a nuisance animal, meaning they pose a threat to livestock.
70 complaints have been people calling in saying, I've seen a coyote, what do I need to do, things of that nature. And the 37 are actually complaints where people have brought them in and checked them in for the bounty.
And she says if you see a coyote, it doesn't mean they have rabies, but you shouldn't go near it. Make sure you bring small pets in at night, and there haven't been any reports of coyotes being within the town limits of Front Royal. If you do kill a coyote, you have to check it in within 72 hours at the Warren County Sheriff's Office to be paid the $50 bounty. Turn to a consumer alert. You may have hit the stores on Friday and throughout the weekend, but today is Cyber Monday. TV3 Winchester's Lindsay Cobb joins us with a look at how close this post-Thanksgiving shopping event is.
This may be the easiest or most convenient way to shop. You can get an insane amount of deals, all from the comfort of your home.
As Black Friday sales come to a close, the week starts with a whole new kind of shopping frenzy.
Go online whenever you want to, and you're not dealing with all the crowds.
Free shipping always talks. Yes, free shipping is the big thing that draws me into Cyber Monday.
Deals offered exclusively online, even in the wake of huge Thanksgiving weekend sales, are becoming more and more popular.
Shopping from the convenience of your home is really, really nice, and having the ability to get some good deals, from the comfort of your couch is obviously where everything is going.
Tammy Sandretsky says she relies on events like Cyber Monday and Black Friday to provide her family with Christmas.
Because of the economy, this is the only time that we can afford. So yeah, this is a big help.
Deborah Hoyt likes Cyber Monday more than the chaos that's Black Friday, but even with shopping online, she worries that the holidays have lost their meaning.
You have to take time to think about what these seasons are about and not just go out and just shop.
With the true meaning of the holidays in mind or not, all those online shoppers tend to hit cyberspace midday and in the evening, so try to shop before or after those times to avoid visiting jammed, slower websites.
Big brand stores will prepare their websites for the increased traffic, but even then, some of them will crash. Also, they still run out of stuff even though it's online, so if you need or want something specific, get to it. Back to you.
Thanks, Lindsay. I know I did most of my Christmas shopping already on this little device. And new at 7, owners of small businesses in Front Royal say this year's Small Business Saturday was a success. The manager at Front Royal Oak Computers on Main Street says it's thanks to the big push to shop small and shop local. He says more and more people are traveling the streets and wanting to shop at their businesses because they do more personalized services that you don't always get with those big box stores.
We're partnering with the town and hoping to get this year lights on some of the facades of the buildings and lights that we could probably keep on, like turn on every Friday night and promote a sense of light up small business.
Now that sounds awesome. And he says something else that has helped. The Front Royal Business Alliance has been sponsoring a Buy Local campaign, putting banners all along Main Street and John Marshall Highway, and they sponsor a website called ibuywarren.com. Also new at 7, a woman who has spent more than 180 hours in outer space is visiting Clark County. NASA astronaut Catherine G. Katie Coleman is a veteran of 3 NASA space flights. Today and tomorrow, she's talking with students and the community about her experience in space. It's part of the STEM celebration in Clark County schools. She offers this advice on helping your kids reach for the stars.
I'd say sit there, listen to them doing their homework. Even if you can't help them, which I can't always help my kid do his homework, just being there with your kids, encouraging them and asking them how school was, asking them what they did in school, and be a part of their education.
Now, tomorrow night, Clark County Public Schools is hosting a STEM festival at Clark County High School from 5:30 to 7. The festival features an action-packed fair with experiments, and after, Coleman will be on hand to answer your questions about space. And still ahead on the news at 7, we are going live at Winchester's Old Town Christmas Parade. We'll check in with TV3 Winchester's Crystal Rosado on how this year's festivities are getting started.
I did not have an respect him to be dead, not him. He was a fighter. He was a fighter.
That's Melanie Jeffries. She's still mourning the loss of her 17-year-old son, Robert Allen Jeffries Jr. He and his friend, 18-year-old Cody James Ferguson, were killed when their car went off the bridge here around 11 on Saturday night.
Investigators say the car came down this direction, southbound across the bridge, when somehow the tires ended up going over the curb, which separates the roadway from the water, and that's how the car ended up in the river and then started to get sucked under the bridge by the current. It's a tragedy first responder George Lewis says is never easy to deal with. He was here Saturday night.
With as many victims as we had for a small department like us, it's overwhelming.
This isn't the first time someone has been killed near this bridge either. In 2010, another driver was swept off the roadway during high water. It's accidents like these that Lewis says need to be addressed with structures like this.
Oh, they're definitely safety hazards, especially when there's water coming across the bridges.
Now the teens killed in this latest accident are being remembered by friends and family. When I asked one of Robert's best friends about him, she told me,
he could put a smile on your face even if he didn't have one on his own.
Something this mother is never going to forget.
And we miss him very much. He's going to be remembered by so many people.
It's sort of like learning how to run marathons or swimming. You know, just think that you want to be the Michael Phelps of the aerobatic community.
But we don't have quite the emphasis on the flying that we did in the other years.
Colonel Roger Nye and Bill Finnegan are looking forward to another performance of Thunder over the Blue Ridge this year. They say last year's tragic crash inspires them to keep spirits flying high.
We were on the fence last year deciding on the financial situation, whether we should have another one. But we decided we need to go out on a good note.
That's why you can still expect tricks like this year.
And what would a preview be without a ride? Come on, let's jump on.
Bill invited me for a ride in his plane. He's been flying like this at air shows across the country. With that experience, he gave me the ride of a lifetime. After that, it's obvious why these guys take their lives into their own hands at these shows.
I don't know what it would be like to take drugs, but this is a legalized drug when you're up there.
And for those trying to keep everyone safe,
if this is the last year, it will be a good year of flying, and we'll see about next year.
That's something that will be on everyone's mind for what could be a final performance.